It's amazing, a fully loaded Camry costs more than this Audi R8 now right here. Oil leaks, check engine light, cosmetic issues, but I'm in love. Welcome to Hoovie's Garage, the dumbest automotive channel in all of YouTube. And I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, obviously, here for work for a few days, but then my flight got canceled and I was stuck out here for a few days more. And I thought, well, since I have to turn in my rental, maybe I should find like a $2,000 or $3,000 hoopty to beat around in, make a video, and then ship it home or just leave it and go home. And while I was shopping for that really cheap hoopty, I found this, the cheapest Audi R8 in the USA, and it was the Iron Man spec. So you know what I had to do, even though I had no business buying this thing. I imagine a lot of you are like me and saw the Audi R8 for the first time in motion in the Iron Man film, and it was just like this, except brand new. Silver with the carbon fiber side blades, the black interior, the R-tronic transmission, but that was a long time ago. We're getting close to 20 years ago on that film, and since then the Audi R8 has been a huge success for the brand, bringing a halo car in to make Audi seem more fancy, because before that, a BMW, a Mercedes, a Porsche seemed more higher end than an Audi, and that's certainly not the case today. And creating a halo car had a big part to the uprising of Audi. And the price, this was a little over $100,000 when new, so it's way cheaper than a Ferrari F430 that was almost $200,000. A Gallardo on the same platform, $160,000, $70,000. Even a Porsche 911 Turbo started out around $130,000 back then. So this was cheaper, and you got an incredible design. The nose itself, they picked it because it sort of looked like Iron Man's helmet, and the design was just absolutely unreal. But like I said, that was a long time ago. So this thing has 84,000 miles on it now. It's a little rough around the edges, as I'll show you in a little bit. And I'll give a little shout out to the selling dealer here in Arizona, the Used Car and Truck Club, because he hooked me up with a great deal. He bought it at a Manheim auction for $44,000, and he put some tires on it, did a few little things, but he was willing to sell it to me for, well, a little less than what he had into it, because it does have some issues, but it does run and drive down the road just fine. So by far the cheapest Audi R8 in the USA and in the Iron Man spec. But the issues, well, they are numerous. A few years before the Audi R8 came out, puberty hit me like a ton of bricks. I was 6'2", 138 pounds, had terrible acne, and I was just as weird as I am now. And that led to a lot of insecurity with me, especially when it came to women, with a lot of rejection, a lot through high school and college, and that's really haunted me well into adulthood. So to this day, I still sometimes feel like I'm not good enough, and that fear of rejection still haunts me, and it rears its ugly head occasionally. In the past, this would give me a lot of anxiety, like wondering why someone isn't texting me back and going to the worst case scenario every single time, or walking on eggshells and not wanting to share what I really think or feel, or if something's bothering me because I didn't think I was worthy or didn't want the person to leave if they knew what I really thought. So if you have tough questions about your own common relationship issues, and trust me, you're not alone, you don't have to keep asking into the endless void. My sponsor, BetterHelp, will connect you with a therapist who can help you find the answers to some of these questions. Instead of being stuck in an endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through relationship concerns with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. Just fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist in as little as a couple of days, and you can switch therapists at any time at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. Going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. There are so many kinds of relationships that can be improved by therapy, not just romantic ones. So click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/Hoovie'sGarage and get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/Hoovie'sGarage. Now, let's go back to the R8 that was beautiful when it first came out, unlike me. So the car has a full PPF on it, but somebody attempted to start to peel it off over here, and when you don't know what you're doing, well, you can take the paint with it, and that's what's happening right here. So this door is completely ruined. The carbon fiber side blades, they're starting to fade. I know this can be sanded down and re-cleared. There's some scratches on the wheels. The caps are faded, no big deal there. The nose has been painted. It has a minor on the Carfax, and there's a little bit of wear and tear. Once again, we're getting into almost hoopty level on the R8. It still presents very nice. Oh, how could I miss this? The mirror, some carbon fiber sticker is on here, and it is about to fall off. It is hanging on for dear life. So that definitely, well, why not we just do it right now? Yeah. Oh my. But yeah, a minor on the Carfax. The dash has a little bit of a tear in the leather right there around the Bang & Olufsen speaker. But otherwise, the interior presents itself pretty darn well. Normal wear in the seats. A little bit of clear coat failure here on the R8 gear selector. So this is a single clutch with these early Audi R8s, but all working just fine. So obviously cosmetically a little challenged, but still presents really well. And yeah, being the full Ironman spec, it's just so cool. The carbon fiber side blades really do make the car. It was a controversial design decision at the time, but obviously I think it's aged really well personally. And you compare it to a Lamborghini Gallardo, a hoopty Gallardo in this sort of condition would still be a $70,000, $80,000 car. And this one, yeah, a lot cheaper. And personally, I like the looks of the R8 better. Interior wise, you get a lot more comfort too, because the seat is straight out of an Audi. So much so that it's got to be out of some sedan or something with a back seat, because they put a little hidden pouch back here. And you also see, look at that big subwoofer mounted in some weird carbon fiber-ish thing, and it all completely works. It was turned up to full bass when I first got it, turned that down, but missing a few trim pieces. The handle to open the bonnet is broken, so this is loose, so you can pull the cable to pop it if you need to. And yeah, a panel missing here, a little bit of wear and tear, but she does run and drive beautifully. A lot of similar bings and bongs to the 2008 Bugatti Veyron, which is pretty funny. Wonderful sounding V8 on this thing. And that V8 is very visible through glass, which is so cool. 420 horsepower, 4.2 liter. Interesting blue cable going on there. That doesn't look very factory. All seems to be running just fine. What in the heck's going on with that vacuum line? Did somebody put some silicone on that if there was a leak or something? Anyway, I can't pop the hatch. I need to like pull the cable with pliers and stuff. But the big issue still remaining is underneath. You can see a pretty decent mystery oil leak there, which we'll see with the Car Wizard at some point when it gets back to Kansas to figure out what that is. He thought it was valve covers, the selling dealer. We'll see if he is right. But yeah, nice to have some new rubber, and well, here's a nice little scratch right here. It's so refreshing to have an exotic like this with a bunch of wear and tear and some high mileage. You can just drive and enjoy it and not care. With my 90 Ferrari 348 with 100,000 miles, I got so much use, so much fun out of that car because it was like this, and I didn't care. One more rock chip in the front's not gonna matter. One more scratch or ding or whatever, it's not gonna matter. Just maintain it and have fun. And that's why I was so excited when I found this thing and stretched my budget just a teensy weensy bit on, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 hoopty to get me through this flight cancellation and got into an Audi R8. Of course, the check engine light came on within 10 minutes of me driving off in the car, but nothing that affected the way it drives. It has cold air conditioning, good heat. The stereo is bumping. This is same as any other Audi product as far as the infotainment. No Bluetooth or USB, so you're kind of stuck with CDs and all that stuff. But like I said, very, very comfortable seats. And these early R8s aren't as desirable because they're not the V10s, the Lamborghini-based V10, and they aren't, well, the dual clutch transmission. They're this early R8, that single clutch, like SMG with BMW or E-Gear with Lamborghini, F1 with Ferrari. And yeah, it is a little jerky and stupid in automatic mode. But I personally like these transmissions because it does require some engagement. If you shift it manually, you do have to sort of pay attention, sort of like a manual transmission. So I really like that fact. I find it funny that I'm in another Volkswagen Audi product like the Veyron, and the check engine light comes on within moments, just like in the Bugatti. So at, well, 1% the price, I have pretty similar driving experience. Mid-engine V8, listen to that. Holy smokes. I'll get on it a little more now that it's warmed up. Obviously the shifts are a little slow with the R8. Helps a little if I put it in sport. That's better. Yeah, one more time in sport. Yeah, that's way better. You know, 420 horsepower was a lot back then, a lot. By today's standards with electric cars, it's not all that much, but this is a really nice handling driving car that has that mid-engine V8 amazing noise behind you, and you're accelerating, hitting redline, and hitting speeds that aren't just ridiculously illegal to where you'd go immediately to jail. And that's why I like these older cars like this. And you know, I feel like Iron Man. It's amazing. A fully loaded Camry costs more than this Audi R8 now right here. A lot of money with inflation and all that stuff. Like average car prices is much higher than this. And obviously oil leaks, check engine light, cosmetic issues, but I'm in love. I am absolutely in love. And well, picked a pretty good car to get around Arizona until I can finally get home. There's like a foot of snow at home. So honestly, when they said weather was affecting my flight, I didn't feel bad about changing it to a later day at all. So let's see how this hoopty buy does on my little getaway here. Okay, challenge number one. Let me put this cover back on. 1-20 battery, so a 5-year-old battery. I'm sure that's fine. Yeah, okay. I wonder what the puzzle pieces are for, the different shapes there, but yeah, we had a little bit more room in our rental, but oh, heck.
It's not gonna fit.
Oh.
No?
No?
No.
Okay.
What's wrong with you?
Sideways.
Oh no. Oh no. I feel like we need the storage in here too.
Okay, we're gonna short out the battery, a la SLR. Okay, watch out.
All right.
Incoming. Hey! All right. And then, oh, backpack on top. I'm glad you pack light, April.
That's not gonna close. You go.
It latches.
No, you're shoving things in that do not fit.
Once again. Okay. Yeah. Well, April's had knee stuff, so we don't want to get into her foot space as much. So maybe that can go in there.
Okay.
And then this. But what do you think of my new prize here?
It's great. It's just not good for road trips.
Sorry, there's some bits that have fallen off the car. Yeah, one of the... That's interesting because it's not a V10, but it's the engine cover for a V10. I guess they peeled the sticker off, but it would sit right there. But somebody wanted to up-badge their car to make it look like a V10 in the back and then took it off. Yeah, those are obviously fake.
You want to keep these?
No. No, I don't think so. Probably not either of them, honestly. But we got to find a hole for this without re-breaking your knee. Okay. Sorry. Get a load of this. It makes the same Bugatti, Bings and Bongs. Same Volkswagen Jetta Beetle Bings and Bongs too, but...
Yeah, and the same engine light.
Yes, the same check engine lights, yes. Deja vu, huh?
Yeah.
Here we go again. That's a little more quicker revving. The W16. I am Iron Man. And you are Pepper Potts. You're my faithful assistant.
That would be awesome.
I guess that storyline wouldn't work in this day and age because now, like, they won't do a movie where the main character hooks up with their assistant, you know, and their secretary.
Yeah. That's inappropriate.
That is not a storyline that would happen
No.
in the 2020s, most certainly. So April's first ride in this, she thought I was shifting gears, like I was working a manual transmission.
Right, and I was so impressed.
But no, it's a flappy paddle. It was a fun flappy paddle.
But it looks cool. It looks like you're still driving a manual. So
Yeah.
you still get the street cred for that.
Right. Knee isn't screaming yet. She needs leg room and to stretch out and stuff, so I might have bought the wrong car.
Botan?
Botan, yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. Is that a Kansas Botan term?
Yeah, but she's getting us down the road just fine. Of course, we almost went on a trip without me buying a car. You get that close.
No,
That close.
it doesn't happen.
You want to row my gear? Go.
Wait, forward?
Yep. Nice. There's a little bit of a door rattle here too. That's kind of annoying. Here, you can downshift me. And then somebody was wearing like rings and stuff and beat this all up because it is real metal. I gotta put it in sport. Yeah, the carbon fiber's coming. The dash is peeling a little bit.
This isn't real carbon fiber, is it?
I think it is, yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Would you get it replaced?
I think I just leave this hoopty, you know, just enjoy it as is. Even the wing works, the deployable rear wing. See, I'm waving at the car behind me.
It was cool. When I was following you, that was going up and down. Were you manually doing it?
Yes, you can do it both ways. Yes, you can put a little message underneath the wing if somebody makes you mad.
Like male driver caution.
Oh, back off or something like that if they're following too closely. I've seen way worse. But yeah, I wonder what that check engine light is.
Ooh, that's a problem. That has to be a problem.
Well, that's what the check engine light is for, to tell you if there's a problem.
It's a big
A lot of people ignore it for years, and obviously the previous owner ignored an oil leak and that, and who knows what else.
The best way to ignore it is to get a piece of black electrician's tape and just...
Like your fascia.
Like my father does.
Yes. On his Cadillac DTS, R.I.P. Not your father, the Cadillac. So I had one of these before, a blue R8 that I bought for 40 grand, so cheaper than this, but it didn't run. And it had a engine replacement where they put in a non-R8 engine and tried to get it to work, and it was just a total, absolute disaster. And I lost, I don't know, over $10,000 after trying to fix it. I think I sold it to Freddie for 30 grand. I did sell it to Freddie for 30,000, and I think it's still in 1,000 pieces. So I lost about 10 grand on that car. But Ed, he got it much, much worse than me because he bought one of the newer ones. Those things have just absolutely tanked in value. The later R8s, the 2017s, the pluses and all that stuff, where they're around $200,000 new. And I think he said he lost 20 or 30 grand on that car, which is a rare L for Ed.
Yeah, are you gonna lose on this car?
I don't think so. I mean, it's working. It's going down the road just fine, so I'm off to a great start. These have certainly gotten softer in the last year or two, but they've been, you know, $55,000, $65,000 for a nice one forever now.
Right.
It's sort of been the bottom of the R8 market, but I just found a new bottom for a working one. Yes! We got to go in and work here in a little bit, but thought we'd go over the vehicle history on this thing just to see what has happened. Pretty interesting. 45 service records, but we do have the minor damage. So a lot of service records at the Audi dealership, which is really, really, really good, especially out of warranty. So by 2012, this thing would have been out of warranty. And there is a transmission repair on here. Yeah, sometimes not everything's listed on there, but at 41,000 miles, transmission computer module reprogrammed and the clutch checked. No clutch replacement though, but at 54,000 miles in 2015, we got a minor damage reported to the front. So it's not a clean Carfax, but yeah, everything in Los Angeles, California, trim replacement, fuel injectors being replaced. Oh, here's another transmission computer module checked. Any big stuff? I know I saw in here that they did the sway bar links twice. For whatever reason, the sway bar links go out on these things. So yeah, AC system checked, instrument cluster checked. There's a lot in here. The full brakes were done at 64,000 miles. At 75,000 miles though, the valve cover gasket was done, which is what he said was leaking. So is it leaking again 10,000 miles later? Probably not, but maybe. And yeah, the last service is at 68,000 miles in 2022, and then it's sold at auction at the end of the year. So faithful service history until the last 2 years, and then somebody bombed around in this thing for a minute, and now I get to enjoy the fruits of that guy from the last 2 years just beating this thing to heck.
But don't people normally like look at the Carfax before they buy it?
Oh, I did. I kind of glanced through it. I was like, oh, that's the cheapest Audi in the USA. You know, of course I'm buying it. I'm looking through. I mean, it lines up. It definitely lines up. And hopefully when this thing gets back to Kansas, the car wizard is like, no big deal. But he usually doesn't.
No.
He usually bends me over. Anyway, I wish you'd bend me over. Thank you so much for watching.